Bog Panda.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Bog Panda. I am Dr. Mike at Official Pagan on everything, and joining me, as always,
Hi, everybody. This is Kelly at KELLYTHUL on Twitter and Instagram. And if you have a moment, please consider subscribing to the Bog Panda YouTube channel, hitting on notifications, maybe leaving a comment or two, hitting on notifications, like you're trying to pick it up. Turn on notifications. You know what I mean. Sorry. Now I've lost my train of thought. Give us a like or two, give us a comment, take a look at our fine merchandise. We'd greatly appreciate it.
dropping the ball, Tool.
Man, I've been doing so well on that. We know I have a long history of introduction problems, but
I almost, even after doing it all these times now, I almost messed up the name of the show coming in. So I paused for a little second there.
I'm with you. It's going to happen. We've avoided it so far, but though, yeah, if you ever hear Mike and I starting to talk about Squat Cobbler again, and you're new to the show, it was kind of what the show is called, and for quite a while, so we forgot.
Well, today though, we're returning to a topic that we covered in the Squat Cobbler days, and that is National Owners Day. What are your first impressions? This is our third National Owners Day.
Yep, that's our third.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool that they do something like this, and so this is kind of in to honor their fans and their users and all those types of things. They run a big sale. Oddly enough, on Valentine's Day for the past couple, which is kind of interesting timing. This time, I think they realized the error of their ways to say, if I lock the individual into being busy on the computer on Valentine's Day and only Valentine's Day, I might not be as relationship friendly as if I extend it out. And so that's what they've done. And it starts today, this Friday, and we'll carry Friday, February 11th, and then we'll carry forward through, because we're still going to keep Valentine's Day part of the equation. So it'll run through Valentine's Day until I think 9 p.m. Eastern time. So starting now, it's out there, and these will be on sale all the way through until 9 o'clock Eastern on Valentine's Day, Monday.
Now, Kelly and I thought it would be a good idea to kind of give a rundown of the products and our feelings on them. As you guys know, I had quite the ordeal with my order last year. I ordered the Legends Mini, the Tetris limited edition version of that, and it took the better part of the year to finally receive that. Incredibly happy with the cabinet now that I have it. But yeah, it was an ordeal getting there. So hopefully we're going to avoid that kind of stuff this year, but we thought it'd be cool to kind of go down the list that they have here. Now, some of this could possibly change. We're recording this prior to the start of National Owners Day. So if some of this has changed, it's Kelly's fault. That's all I can say about that.
Fair enough.
He intentionally did that to throw it off when I lead us into these products. But I am definitely curious. So we both have already looked at this list. We've talked a little bit kind of off mic here about what we were interested in, but I think going through the list, it's going to be interesting. And I'm really curious to hear your opinion on every product, to be honest, not just the stuff you'd already kind of singled out. Because I think we both have something that's like a definite buy for each of us, which I'm sure we're going to get to. So, Well, we will get to, because we're doing everything. So they have these numbered, so that's convenient. So number 1, ArcadeNet 1 year premium. Where are you on ArcadeNet, sir?
So, although the more I explored our kind of ideal state of having a Gottlieb pinball system, or software that we both bought, and playing one of those games across and competitively across ArcadeNet doesn't appear to be the case. It appears things that are kind of part of the core AtGames infrastructure. Some of the video games are playable, multiplayer that way. Some of the tables, a very limited number of tables, are available that way, but it's not just wide open to anything. So that took a little bit of the luster off it, but ArcadeNet still is kind of a nice, depends how much you're wanting to do some of that particularly competitive stuff on the video game side of the equation. So I had a 6-month ArcadeNet subscription. I used it some, and in terms of the access to some additional games and all that pieces there, but price point's always been a trouble for me. $20 a month. They could put it on sale to take that edge off of that. I will likely, well, I think there's a pretty good chance I'll extend and do ArcadeNet again, but not at a 12-month chunk. You?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a good chance that I would extend it and do it more, only when there's sale offers, though.
Yeah.
Like I'm just not going to put out the $20 a month. That to me is just too high of a price point for it. Now that brings us to number 2, which is the Legends Pinball +1 deal. So it looks like the +1 is including the Zachariah pack. So Legends Pinball, sir, are you ready to pull the trigger on that?
Again, to your point earlier, at a right sale price, yes. This one's discounted some, about, it looks like a couple $100, but it's still not enough for me to go yet. It's been weird. I have seen some folks posting pictures where certain Sams are like clearing their inventory, and they'll have a pinball system for like $3.99 sitting on the floor. Now, one of those shows up, I'll get it and do it, absolutely. But that's not what the price of this one is. Even though it comes loaded with all the Zachariah stuff, which would be cool. Zachariah stuff would be cool. I'm gonna pass for now. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat on that. I think this is still outside of my price range. Now, if I came across one in the wild for like $3.99, like you're saying, yeah, I'm probably going to pick that up. Even putting aside my space issues, I'll make it work for that deep of a discount on it. But otherwise, I'm really happy with the Mini. And the Mini's just, as you guys have already seen in videos and stuff, I'm doing with the C64. And beyond this point, there's going to be a lot of cool stuff that you guys see that I'm doing with it in some of our call and response videos. So it's been a great source for pinball, and it's been really fun to kind of play around with other things with it. So I'm really happy with that purchase. I'm not necessarily looking to upgrade to that anytime soon.
Makes sense.
All right, so moving along to number 3, Legends Ultimate +1. Looks like the pinball table pack again, but you're getting the Legends Ultimate plus the pinball side buttons for that.
Yeah, and so pass for me again. And spoiler alert, folks, a lot of pass. There's 24 items here. I'm looking at getting about 2 just to set your expectations. Like, boy, he's not seeming to get too many things. I think Mike's kind of in that park too. So don't. It's not we're knocking the stuff. It's just what's interesting to us. This one's a problem for me because I have a Legends Ultimate. I have a Legends Ultimate 1.0, which has certain benefits to it, like more games initially preloaded on it. But also has a big downside to it versus the 1.1 Legends, which is the 1.1 Legends deck was modified to accommodate the pinball buttons on the side. So if I could get, the pinball buttons and actually apply them to my Legends Ultimate, I would consider doing that, but I can't. I'm not really planning to replace what I've got. It's doing just fine for me.
Makes sense. Then we have number 4 is the ALU Mini Pinball Kit. So you're getting a pinball pack with that. I already have that. It is a great product. What is the price point coming in on this? Looks like it's gonna be coming in at $4.99 with the pinball pack. So you kind of can't go wrong with that. It is a great system. It's not the Tetris one. It is the regular Legends artwork that they're using for that. I really like the Tetris artwork. I really didn't care one way or another for it when I initially ordered it, other than I like that single game look, even though these are all kind of multicade cabinets. I'm going for an arcade aesthetic, so it just makes sense for what I'm doing.
Yep. Yeah, and so you're good there. You're already set with your Mini. That's an interesting price point for me. I mean, it also comes again with a fair number of tables. 105 pinball tables come with it, so you get a few packs with it. So I'm on the fence on that one. That might go, because it is kind of the same artwork. I'd have kind of a father and son Legends sitting there, which would be kind of an interesting look. We'll have to just explore a little bit further, because I've heard some folks say that the even rotated when you get it into portrait mode and are playing pinball, because the mini screen starts off smaller than the Legends to begin with. That it's not, if you have a Legends, it's not a huge difference in the size of playability. But the when I do pinball on the Legends, I can do it and it's not bad. But I definitely I'd like it to be a bit larger. So we'll have to maybe do some off air measuring and kind of see where we're at in terms of comparing the two and see. But it is, I mean, you've kind of sold me on it. It does sound like it'd be a fun little addition, and much like you, I'd make it a dedicated pinball machine for the most part. I mean, you can do other things, but its main job would be pinball.
Yeah, that's 90% of what I do on it. And when I do have it flipped for more traditional game style play, it's the stuff you've already seen me do and the stuff you will see us do in future videos, like different projects that we're gonna be doing and things like that. So it's more for other things. It's not so much just using it as a regular gaming system, if that makes sense.
Yep.
All right, so moving along, we're on number 5, arcade control panel.
Yeah.
So what is this?
So this is for if you have a Legends pinball. So spoiler alert, it's probably not be a product I'll be picking up, but you can replace the front section, the front control deck of the Legends pinball with this. So you have basically a gaming, it adds a joystick to your
Gotcha.
pinball. And so then if you're playing the regular video games on your Legends pinball, it's a little better experience. So it looks like a pretty sweet product. Its price isn't too bad. So that if you do happen to have a Legends pinball, I think it's worth looking at it, and they're discounting it for here. So maybe this would be a good one to look at. But if I had a Legends pinball with this sale price, and I hadn't gotten it already, it's probably a purchase for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's a deep discount on it. It's 40% off. So if you have a Legends pinball, I don't see how I wouldn't pick this up if I had the Legends pinball.
Yeah, I just think it extends the game out a little bit. I mean, unless you just wanted to be more of a pinball purist and say, well, there are no pinball machines with a joystick sticking out on the control deck, then maybe that would be a no for you. But I think it's at this price, you ought to grab it.
Yeah. Now, BitPixel is number 6. I see a lot of stuff about this online. I guess I've never really thought about it one way or the other. So what are your thoughts on this thing?
So there are certain people that love it and are big fans and talk a lot about it. To me, it's a little bit like the coin slot to a certain degree, in that it's an interesting addition, because what this does is it's a marquee that you can replace your existing static marquee with a marquee that will morph depending. So if you're playing Asteroids, it says Asteroids. If you're playing Mortal Kombat, it says Mortal Kombat, and does kind of the dot matrix artwork kind of stuff on the top. So it kind of lets your multicade more closely align with, oh, it's this game and it's that game and all that. So and we'll see one down the list a little bit further. You can get kind of the this is more for the Legends. You'll see a comparable one coming down that's for the pinball, same concept. But it's just basically obviously a brighter marquee, because here, instead of just an LED light kind of shining through some plastic, this is actually kind of lights that are going through, and it just switches for the game. So if that's important to you and adds a lot of value, it's worth a look. Another good discount.
Yeah, it's another deep discount on it, another 40%. So I mean, you can't beat that. But so if this is appealing to you, obviously this is the time to pick it up. Again, for me, I'm going for that sort of, even though they're all kind of multi-cade cabinets, even the arcade one-up ones, just smaller number of games. I am going for that arcade look. So, I like that my mini is Tetris, and it's Tetris across the whole thing. I don't need it to say different things and stuff like that. So this doesn't necessarily appeal to me. Like Kelly said, this falls into the coin slot thing for me. If this is important to you and appeals to you, awesome. It's just not really what I'm looking for.
Yep.
All right, so this brings us down. You already have one of these, the Legends gamepad.
Yep.
Another 40% discount though.
Yep. Highly recommend, just because while they're working hard at AtGames to make sure you got good compatibility with Microsoft controllers, PlayStation controllers, etc. I fought it on and off with Xbox One controller to get wireless syncing. But this one, after I got my controller, it syncs with my core just perfectly. And I don't really have any issues with it at all. It's a good, it's a good weight controller. It's not, probably like a super high end controller, but it's also not, um, a super lightweight kind of crappy one either. So I'd say a slight, an average to slightly above average quality controller that works very well with the core. And so if you have a core, I'd recommend getting those.
Excellent. So now we're to the big pixel for the pinball. We kind of already covered this, and
Yep.
neither Kelly or I have the pinball, but again, good discounts on this stuff. So if you're a bit pixel person, obviously this is the time to pick these things up. All right, so this brings us to the bit LCD marquee. So what is the difference with this, sir?
So the bit pixel to bit LCD is like the coin slot to a coin slot that accepts Atari tokens. So it's just an upgrade. So it is, the bit pixel is that whole dot matrix series of lights. So your resolution's not super tight on it, and it's think the characters are a little blocky. This is an LCD, so this is, you get a much more video game like execution of the artwork and those types of things. So it's, as bright, if not brighter, and certainly a much better resolution, much more detailed, and a much kind of higher end look to it.
Again, 40% off. So if this is something that appeals to you guys, that's a solid discount on there. Number 10, we got the Legends Core. We both are already core owners.
And this is the Core Max, which apparently has a purple, according to their site, a little purple light ring around it instead of the green light ring around it. So I'm not 100% sure what's going on with that in terms of what the difference would be between the Core and the Core Max. But I think we both have a comparable product to this, and so we're good.
Yeah. So the next two are just, ArcadeNet and bring your own game subscription things. We kind of already covered this a little bit. So I'm just going to jump ahead. Now we're at the pinball packs. So I think this is where we're really going to have the most to talk about anyway. So we're going to start with the Zachariah Packs. They have Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5, and then the whole 105 table pack deal going on there. Any of these speaking to you, sir?
Yeah. So number 14 has Hot Wheels on it, and kind of looking through the different setups, I said that would be a good way to go. So I'm definitely making a purchase of Zachariah Volume 2. So that'll
Volume
be a
2.
purchase.
Nice. Very nice there. So that brings us to the Gottlieb tables. Same thing. They have the two different Gottlieb volumes, and then everything plus a controller, which they had for the other one as well. I should have mentioned that. So this is my definite buy. Is the Gottlieb bundle with all of the tables and the AtGames controller, because I don't have an AtGames controller. So that'll go perfect with my mini for doing 2-player games. So that's going to be nice to have that. And I've put off getting the Gottlieb tables, which one of my favorite pinball games, Haunted House, is on there. So you would think that would be something I'd immediately go for, but I've seen very mixed reviews of these. So apparently, unlike all of the other tables, which were done by one particular company, the Gottlieb ones are handled by a different company. The resolution apparently is much lower, and I've seen complaints about a couple of the conversions of the tables. So it's I didn't jump at it, and that was a little disappointing to hear. And I am already a little bit spoiled because I played the other packs from the other company, and they're excellent. So I will notice that step down. It's not like I started with these and then they got even better kind of thing. But for a deep discount on that, which is 63%, buying it in that bundle for that kind of a deep discount, plus the controller, which I was already planning on picking up anyway, so that I had it for the mini, for the second player on there. I can't go wrong with this bundle. So that's my definite, absolutely getting that.
Yeah, that was tempting again because I have a controller, and giving two would be nice for some multiplayer stuff. But probably just dip my toe in with Gottlieb and go with I believe it's volume. Well, I think it's volume one that has the Black Hole and Bone Crusher on it. So um, I was tempted to go Haunted House because you brought it up kind of multiple times, and I do recall playing it, and that's a really cool table. But Black Hole was another really good one too. So that's probably where I'll go.
Makes sense. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. And then we get the Taito collections. No controller bundle option with those, but the individual collections. What are your thoughts on that? Anything there you're going to pick up?
I'm gonna have to look a little bit more and see. That's been the one pinball pack I've bought so far. Got the one with Space Invaders on it. I've enjoyed that quite a bit. So I think it's played kind of across all those tables on that pack and enjoyed them all. So it's kind of a neat execution, and they tend to blend the video game with the pinball experience, which is just a slightly different experience than more of a straight pinball conversion. So under consideration, but definitely pulling the trigger on the other two pinball packs.
Very nice. Yeah, I think volume 2 is a contender for me here. So I really enjoy volume 1, particularly the Space Invaders one, which is the most video gamey of them, with animated characters that you have to kill and stuff on screen. So apparently with each of these packs, what they do, and all of these are strictly video game pinball. These never existed in real life. They all have music and things like that are added to them. But one game in each pack is a full-on pinball video game with animated characters and missions and things. And the one for pack 2 is Operation Wolf, which I'm a huge fan of that arcade game. And I've seen some video of what they do with it for the video game pinball version, and it looks great. So that's a strong contender for me. So I'm definitely getting the Gottlieb, and the controller bundle. Volume 2 of the Taito packs makes sense to me too.
So that's what the list is, and that's kind of where our heads are at. We'd love to hear from you folks. Are you planning to take advantage of some of these sales? What do you think about National Owners Day? Last National Owners Day, there were some other contests and things going on during it that there was kind of some mixed results on, because some people, felt they should have been entered to be competitive for something, but they didn't actually buy the product during National Owners Day, but they had bought it recently. And so there was a little bit of noise. So I don't know if they're staying away from that this time. But there may be some other kind of interesting, fun activity going on this Friday through Monday. So probably worth taking a stop by the AtGame site and see what's going on.
Yeah, definitely worth checking it all out. Hopefully we can do a follow-up like we did last year, confirming what we purchased and what we think of it, especially with the pinball packs, because we're going to get those right away. So there's not going to be a 9-month waiting period.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm not counting on having my controller anytime soon. Nope. I know that going into it, but that's just an added bonus for me. I'm picking up the Gottlieb tables that I was already interested in. Black Hole, I'm a big fan of as well. Haunted House, I love. For anybody who's never seen Haunted House, there are 2 different play fields, one underneath the other. So when you go to the other part of the house, there's like a glass window in the middle where you're playing a different pinball table underneath it. It's pretty cool. So I'm curious to see how that translates video game wise. It is going to be disappointing that it's a step down from what I'm used to. But again, that's some of the best video game pinball that I've ever played. So I don't think it's the fault of other companies that the one company seems to be great at this. So
fair enough. Definitely. Excellent. Well, like I said, we'd love to hear from you. We'll follow back up with you. And thanks for watching.
Thanks, everybody.